Hello my beautiful people, I hope you're doing well. Now by the title of this video, we're going to talk about everything in 2023, some reflections. I'm going to talk about why this was the best year of my life other than the year my baby was born. But we're going to talk all about 2023, some of my best takeaways, some of the things that I'm most happy about. And we're also going to talk a little bit about some of my goal settings for 2024. But I do want to preface this video. I'm a big believer in the evil eye. I'm a big believer in Nazir. So I'm not going to be laying everything down. But I just felt like I had to come and sit down with you all and talk about why 2023 was my favorite year and some of the things that I'm so looking forward to in the year to come. This year was my 31st year of living, so I turned 31 in August, and I turned 30 last year, obviously. So for my first year of my 30th, or the first several months, I was really unhappy, and it was actually one of the lowest points of my life in that year. And when I was turning 31, I made a promise to myself that this is really about me living. This year is all about me truly stepping into what it means to be in my 30s, really letting go of my 20s, how much trauma was sustained in those years, and walk into a new chapter. And I definitely want to say that I'm one of those people, I did not necessarily think I was going to make it to 30. I know many of you know what I'm talking about. Never saw myself in my 30s. I just never envisioned it. So I didn't have any plans. I didn't have any preparation. I didn't have anything like that. I didn't have any goals. And I am an Aboriginal woman, so I'm a woman that comes from, unfortunately, a lot of intergenerational trauma. Through those years and generations of colonization, women in my family haven't had the opportunity to dream big. We haven't had the opportunity to necessarily think about what we want in life, how we want to get there, how we want to do it, because so much of our life is centered around surviving. Now I know a lot of people are going to feel these sentiments, a lot of other Indigenous people perhaps as well, and others that come from, you know, lower class families in this country, families that don't have privilege. You know, we don't get taught how to dream. We don't get taught how to reimagine our lives. So therefore, often we just don't do it. And since having my daughter, as I always talk about, she is my inspiration to dream big. She's my inspiration to be brave with all that she does. She really embodies this. So I want to be that type of woman. I want to be that type of mother for her. Some of you may or may not know, we actually packed our whole house up. We moved to India, where we lived there for 4 months, and that whole entire chapter, I haven't had time to sit down and create like a dedicated video talking about India and that journey, but I'm definitely going to do that soon. But traveling to another country, I never even felt confident enough to do an domestic flight, let alone an international one. So the fact that I did this was such a huge achievement. All of the, you know, the checks you have to go through, finding the airport, yada yada yada, I did all of it, and that is something that I never ever thought that I could do. Now I also have ADHD, my daughter also has ADHD, my daughter has a disability, so it's very complex. Travel, our life is so complex, but the fact that her and I did that together was like one of the biggest achievements of my life, and I achieved that this year. And also on the back of that, you know, living in another country, moving out of the West, seeing other cultures, other communities, spirituality, connecting to Punjab and Sikhism and learning more about that, going to the Golden Temple, I truly felt like Amritsar was my home. Like, I can't explain it. I truly felt like I was returning back home. And as an Aboriginal woman, spirituality is so important to me, and I felt that spirit when I went there. I just knew I was exactly where I was supposed to be, and that is one of the most profound feelings I've ever experienced. So I went to Punjab for my then partner, but I also went there to plant some seeds around my own clothing line, and that really kind of spills into some of my bigger goals for next year. Launching a brand, starting a clothing line, something that I've dreamt of since I was literally a child or a teenager. I just never had the confidence to put it out there. I never had the confidence to actually do it and just bite the bullet. Now I am a Virgo, and a true Virgo in every sense of the word. So actually not listening to my self-doubt, stop criticizing myself so deeply, and trust in my capacity to launch a brand, launch a product, manufacture a product, create it, do all of these outside and inside things, to do it all, to kind of be the be the creative director behind the brand, all of it. It's just been so incredible. So launching Nurali in November, all the back end work that went through it, just sorting everything out, learning so much about business, about tax, about ABN, all of it, right? It has been an incredible experience, and one that has changed my life. And I think as well, it's this process of healing my inner child in 2023. Like all the trauma that I went through as a young child, all the trauma that I went through in my youth and my young adulthood, all of that, sitting down with myself and actually facing those demons, rather than just kind of bottling up those feelings or pushing them down, sitting with my trauma and thinking about it, processing it, allowing myself to feel sad. Like, to some of you that sounds really foreign, but to some of you I'm sure you'll get what I mean. Like actually allowing myself to feel sad, allowing myself to sit back and think, hey, that was really messed up, like you shouldn't have had to go through that. Certain things like that have been really profound on my spirit and my heart. In 2023, you know, I fell deeper in love with somebody. I fell and experienced a love with somebody that I could never ever imagine that I would experience. You know, my ex-partner, we have a relationship has ended, but that experience in 2023 was one that changed my life. To love somebody like that and to be loved in that way by a man has just it just changed me, you know. And also though, the growth of deciding that that relationship isn't serving me, that relationship is great, it's wonderful, but it's not the life that I want to have as well. And I think as women, so often we tick these boxes. Okay, it's great, I'm gonna put up with it, I'm gonna put up with it, we can work through this, we can manage, I can put my needs aside, I can put my needs aside. But 2023 was me, no, I don't want to put my needs aside anymore. 2023 was me saying, this relationship is all that I've dreamt of, but there's some serious red flags, or there's some serious cultural issues, communication issues. If your partner isn't working on their trauma, if your partner isn't working through, you know, what they need to heal from, and you're focused on healing, that is going to create true and pure chaos, true and pure conflict. And that again leads to my next point. 2023, I have cut off everybody. I have cut off family, friends, acquaintances, this, that, the other, my social life cut off. This year was all about me healing. I don't want to be in negative environments. I don't want to be around negative conversations. I don't want to be around people that aren't focused and invested in their healing. I don't want to be around people that like to hurt people or like to hurt me to kind of get off on it or get a kick out of it. I don't want to be around that. I want to be around calm environments. I want to be around joy. I want to be around happiness. I don't want my anxiety to be triggered and it takes days and days to kind of process that. You know what it's like when you have anxiety. If someone says something to you or they do something to you and you respond or you don't respond, you just keep replaying that over and over in your mind. And 2023, I've just wiped my hands of all of it. I just want to heal. I want to be in my space, in my home. I want to focus on healing. I want to focus on building my life. I want to think about the life I want to have for my daughter and I. You know, I am solely responsible for raising Emily. From the finance, from decisions on homeschooling, from her rehabilitation, getting her to her appointments, sorting this, sorting that, NDIS, to the other things like buying her stuff. Are her shoes too small? Does she need new socks? Does she need this? Does she need that? I do it all by myself. And this kind of extreme journey of motherhood is really, really tough. But even from many of the yarns that you fellas have had with me, being 100% a single mother is a blessing. Like, that is another big awakening that I've had this year from even some of the yarns that I hear on TikTok about husbands or partners, this kind of weaponized incompetency, pretending they don't know how to do this, they don't know how to do that. Again, the role of the woman in the house, you know, we work all day, we do everything, and then we're expected to come home and be domesticated and do all of that. So I've actually had that chance to kind of sit back and think about my life and how we often romanticize the green grass on the other side. If I had this, if I had that, if I had a partner or a husband, but actually sitting in being a single mom, actually owning that, actually thinking about it like, wow, this is a blessing that my daughter and I are in a happy home. My daughter and I are in a safe home. My daughter and I are in an environment that I 100% control and ensure that we are safe, we are taken care of. I'm not stressed out. Like, the other day on my Instagram and my TikTok, I actually made a post and I talked about the generational curses that I'm breaking. My daughter's never going to hear adults screaming and fighting. My daughter's never going to hear things being smashed up in a home. My daughter's never going to have to walk into a room and it be so cold and her look at like her parents and be like, what happened, walking on eggshells, you know, did they have a fight, is a fight going to happen? My daughter's not going to know any of that, alhamdulillah. And that is what is my blessing, knowing that my daughter is never going to be exposed to that. It is the most profound feeling. It is a feeling that makes me feel so blessed and so grateful that I broke that cycle. Now again, I'm not going to talk too much because I believe in Nazir, or I believe in the evil eye, bad intentions, whatever you want to talk about it. But another point that I will touch on, I will not talk about my daughter's rehabilitation journey for her own privacy, but also Nazir. I'm very protective of Emily, but one of the blessings that I can talk about, which involves me, not her, because my child is my world, so we're gonna park that. But another big blessing for this year was successfully applying, learning about, and getting accepted into homeschooling. Now, when she went to kindergarten, or even before that, I always thought about homeschooling as an option. I always thought about it. It's just something that would be a dream for me. My daughter is Aboriginal. My daughter is West African with a dad who is a refugee from a refugee background. And then again, my daughter has a disability or a myriad of disabilities. So I know that the education system is not created for children like my daughter. I know the education system is failing children like my daughter. So it just never made sense to me. Why would I expose my child to Australia, to institutionalization, which is schools? Why would I expose Emily to all of this when I know that these schools harbor ableism, they harbor racism, they harbor classism and sexism? Why am I planting my seed, the most valued possession of mine, in this system? So actually going through the application, being brave enough to really take ownership of this, because it has not been easy, learning about all the requirements, fulfilling all of the requirements, and then actually getting it done has been the most incredible experience. Now also, I'm not going to romanticize homeschooling. It has been really tough, and I know it's going to be really tough. I know that this journey is going to be tough, but I know that this journey is going to be worth it. And also getting my dream job. So you guys know that I work at a 9 to 5. I have a 9 to 5. I work at an incredible Aboriginal organization, again, which is 100% working from home. And this has just been amazing. Like, working in the area I'm working in, actually being able to work from home, doing work that I believe in, doing work that I know is creating change for my people, making change for Aboriginal children, Aboriginal families. Every day that I go to work, I wake up with excitement, I wake up with purpose. So that's really, really exciting for me. And then again, on the cuff of that, being able to homeschool my child. So in 2024, again with recognizing evil eye. But in 2024 I'm looking forward to traveling with Emily, even if it's just like around New South Wales, going to Queensland. I want to travel internationally as well. I want to go to New Zealand, but I also want to again take her internationally. These are goals that I have for the years to come. But again, in 2024, feeling confident enough to actually dream that is like profound, coming from someone at the start of the year or in 2022. If you told me I'd be even thinking about that, I'd say hell no. I couldn't even do a domestic flight, to now in 2024 being like, you know what, also in 2024 I am launching Nurali's clothing line. So Nurali have launched a bag line. I'm also going to be launching clothes. So these clothes are going to be size inclusive, gender neutral. They're going to be ethically made and sourced. They're going to be all about empowerment, challenging beauty standards in Australia, Eurocentric beauty standards, and how they're deeply intertwined to desirability, worthiness. I just want to blow it all up. Like, I just want Nurali to be this brand that doesn't just talk about inclusivity. We are about inclusivity. And again, through clothes, through celebrating Aboriginal culture, through celebrating beauty, through celebrating survival, encourage people to tap into the beauty of this country, but also the necessity for change. So I'm so looking forward to that next year, and that is going to happen. I'm gonna make it happen. There's no more of parking that dream. It's gonna happen. Also in 2024, I've really removed the need for love, the need for a relationship, the desire I had to be married. That is completely gone. 2024, I am not investing in love or hoping to find love. And I think that's really interesting because I've always wanted that. I've always felt that I have a husband out there. I know he's out there somewhere, but I just know 2024 is not the year for me to be invested in love. I know that 2024 is a year to me focus on building my empire, as small, as big as it's gonna be. I'm in a little apartment, I'm humble. But when I mean my empire, I mean my empire. That is all I'm focused on. I'm not focused on loving a man, supporting a man, taking care of a man, building with the man. I'm just focused on Emily and I. Like, that's all I'm worried about. And that again is a big step for me, because for so many years I'd hoped to find this, I'd hoped to find that, but 2024, love is off the table in that department at least. And another goal for 2024, of course, is to continue creating content online. For so long, I was really had my wall up. I really had a guard up with the content that I'd create. I really didn't feel comfortable to talk about certain topics, to share bits of myself or my story and my life, because online I've experienced so much racial degradation. But I'm done now. I have no fear. I have no concern. I want to be authentically me. I want to tell my story. I want to tell you guys what it's been like, you know, living in Australia as an Aboriginal woman, as a academic, as a mother, as all of these different things. I want to start sharing my story with you guys and stop filtering it out of fear of being vulnerable. I want to share that, these bits and these aspects of myself, and even with social media as well. It's really tough. You know, sometimes I have a lot of self-doubt. Sometimes I think, what am I even doing on social media? No one looks like me. No one creates the content that I create. No one's talking about certain things that I talk about in the way I talk about them. And that's the truth. That was the center of why I started creating content online, because there's no representation of people like me, women like me, fat women, Aboriginal women, single mothers, all of these kind of aspects that are seen as negative or undesirable. I kind of just show up and I'm like, hey guys, and unapologetically as well. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, continuing to take up space, being brave, being bold, having no more fear, no more anxiety about my place online, and just taking ownership of that. And you guys, this community is the reason why I feel so confident and bold and excited to continue to create content in 2024. Okay guys, so that was a little breakdown on why 2023 has been my favorite year. And I also want to say, guys, there's been moments in this year that I literally thought I would snap. Emily and I experienced homelessness, returning from India, financial instability. I didn't have a job, so we were like broke, I was stuck financially. My family had to help me, my mother, all of this drama, right? Drama, things that I thought were gonna break me, like break me mentally, break my dreams, break my spirit, but I rose above it and I continued to fight. And I think as well, that is another reason why 2023 has been my favorite, as I have fought, guys. I have fought beyond anything. And then again, talking about fighting, walking away from that relationship, letting go of someone that I loved for so many years, someone that I literally thought I was going to marry, literally thought I was going to grow old with, letting go of that and realizing that that is not what's meant for me, that it should not be hurting me, it should not be impacting me negatively. I want a relationship and a love that of course isn't always 100% perfect, but it does bring me that sense of peace. So it's been a tough one, it's been challenging, it's nearly broke me many times. So much doubt I had in this year, so much hardship, but I have fought and I've dug deep to be here today and to achieve things that I never thought possible. So 2023 has been a defining year for me. I'm so excited for 2024. I know it's not going to be easy. I know it's not going to be roses and rainbows, but I am ready to dig deep. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to make my dreams come true, find happiness, find peace, and find joy with my beautiful daughter. Please let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what some of the highlights have been for you this year, what you're looking forward to next year. And as always, I love and adore you. Bye.